Well, we're back here. Gar is not.
Oh well.
So, I got my Ride Watch holder and a bunch of shit last week, and since you, Emily, were not here, now that we started the show, I would like to present you with a present.
Wait, are you serious?
You may have my Ghost Ride Watch because I know you like Ghost.
Wait, are you actually serious?
Yes.
Oh my god!
There you go.
Oh, look at how happy she looks.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I didn't even bring Doritos today. I should
And
get
I
a
keep
Ride
telling you, you
Watch.
don't need to.
That is so cool.
Would you like to do the honors?
Really? Cue the roll call.
We are live!
Loading.
Equipment wielder, Bluecaster, Cheetah Zazil.
Loyal and loud, Pinkcaster, Lay!
One little spark of courage. Dreamcaster, Global Perka.
Broadcasting hundreds of opinions across the world!
Radio Sentai Castranger.
On air!
Oh.
I can't believe it.
Keep that squeal in, that was
no,
adorable.
Yep.
Please take the squeal out.
Welcome to Castranger, episode 218!
Check out episode 58 of Kaiju Sentai Ultra Ranger. Have you
57.
seen?
Can I pay you back?
Oh,
57.
whatever.
No, don't worry about
have
it.
you have you
Like
seen
money?
this Daichi? For context, listen to the episode.
I was like, that's a joke I don't get, guy.
Yeah. Well, Daichi's the name of the main character, and like he went missing, or like he got turned to stone, but none of his team.
And you made a milk carton joke.
Yeah, because none
I
of his
saw.
team never.
Can
Not,
Thought to
nobody
ask.
not know how.
Well, no,
In
no
return,
one's.
can I give you a book on spiders?
Spide.
I mean, I'm not super into spiders. You can,
Oh.
you can keep it. It's
Spider
you
riders?
find a better use for it than I would. Okay, so let me get the business out of the way.
Blaze Pokemon. Yeah, that's right.
While you're digging that up, for anyone who's listening for the first time, thank you for tuning in. Radio Sentai Castranger is a Toronto-based production where a bunch of weird assholes like us get together every week and talk about Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. And if you don't know what those shows are, it's Japanese Power Rangers with better writing.
And
We don't actually do that. This is a podcast where we talk about various things in the MCU. So today's episode is about Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, what can I say other than this is a fantastic film, such good comedy, good characters.
Now out on Blu-ray.
Paul Rudd is just a fucking treat. the whole movie.
Paulie Rudd!
Slugma. We're on episode Slugma.
Hooray.
I like Mad Cargo more because he's a fucking lava snail
Yeah.
thingy.
So, so for anyone tuning in for the first time, thank you for checking us out, and I hope you enjoy your stay.
Pinkcaster Lane.
They heard the roll call.
Formerly Pinkcaster Lytrid for all you new viewers. So if you ever listen to old episodes and you hear me as Lytrid and you're very confused as to why, don't worry about it. I decided to just change my name to Lane because
It'll all make sense if you listen to every single episode at the same time.
we need to make that a fucking thing.
God, no.
Just
every
all
episode
our
of
fucking...
Castranger is
Or,
different.
no, you know what you do, Ichi? You take every single roll call we've ever had. Like, I mean, every single one.
I have them all saved.
All various... Every single combination possible.
I have them all saved as separate files.
And just... mash them together. I'm sorry if that was loud. And then we use that for a roll call.
The thing is, like, in order to sync them up, there has to be a single point at which they're all hinged around. So I think the way I do it is hinge them around my roll call. So through the, like, 200 versions of the roll call, the one thing you'd hear clearly is Equipment Wielder, Bluecaster, Ichida's Azil. And then it just dissolves into
Then you
fucking
just hear...
300 channels of nonsense.
You just hear, "Let your lane!" And then we'll use that for a roll call in an episode.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, everyone's gonna...
There's our roll call for episode 300.
You know what? Yes, we have to remember that. Episode 300 is a mashup of every single...
Blaze, I'm counting on you to remember that for episode 300.
Oh yeah, we get to Night Lane, and there's Slowcaster, Drunkcaster.
There's a Halloween special.
Fuck yeah.
Blaze is shitting himself.
Frightred. And Blade's like, pressure!
Alright.
So yeah.
Have 20s.
So
It's okay with you.
don't worry about
it's
it.
For
You don't have to pay me for it. I'm giving it to you. Okay, so this being our third week of our theme month, Borgtober, we are talking about Kamen Rider Zeo, episode 7 and 7.5.
Oh yes, for those listening to the episode who didn't listen to Extra, we got our Flabber doll!
Yeah.
It's flabtastic.
It's awesome. The speakers crap on it, but you can still hear him say shit like flabtastic. And
if you listen real close and scream at his ass.
Emily's been taking very good care of him since she came over. So
as Blaze is singing, we got our SH Flavio arts.
yes. I also have been busy playing Starlink. It's a fucking awesome space flying game. If you've not,
well, let me finish what we're talking about first, and then we
fine.
So Zeo, episode 7, 7.5. We're talking about Patranger, episode 36. I think.
Something like that.
Yes, 36.
36.
And for our third week of Borgtober, we are talking about Big Bad Motherfucking Beetleborgs, episodes 29, 30, and 31, wrapping up our Shadow White Borg arc
thing.
So now go into whatever the hell else is going on.
Yep.
Oh, you were talking about Starlink.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I've been playing this game called Starlink. It's a really awesome.
You may have heard of it.
Space game by Ubisoft, and the Switch version is.
It's good despite Ubisoft, I swear.
The Switch version is the superior version because it comes with Star Fox, and you get an R-wing, and the R-wing's fucking awesome.
And he gets like actively involved in the story if you play as him.
Yeah, like not like sometimes in some cutscenes he's in it, but then like when you I guess they use like the default like generic cutscenes where he shows all the main characters but not Fox, but like he's in some of them. But it's a fun game. It's a good excuse to like travel around and like shoot down shit and gather resources. It's like No Man's Sky meets Star Fox pretty much.
Yeah, it's like they fixed No Man's Sky.
Yeah, so and like it comes with like playable toys that you can play and like you can customize your ship however the fuck you want
And whatever parts you put on your ship appears in the game.
Yeah, and it's just really cool. And you
buy them all!
You don't need to buy the toys. You can get everything digitally, but still, like it's worth getting the. Yeah, why wouldn't you get the toys? They're fun as hell.
Yeah, I love just having a display R-wing.
So if you have a Switch, get the Switch version. It is the superior version.
And if you don't have a Switch, what the fuck are you doing?
Get a Switch. Emily has a Switch. Ichi has a Switch. I have a Switch.
We're all captured.
My girlfriend has a Switch. How many of you have a Switch? Say in the comments.
Everyone in the comments, raise your hand.
Yeah, raise your hand.
Something that has nothing whatsoever to do with Sentai Castranger.
Right?
Okay. Actually, I need to take a picture of said Flabber doll to prove that we have said Flabber doll.
Yes, we got an actual Flabber doll on eBay.
A 14-inch talking Flabber doll. Actually, okay. Well, since I did an extra, but...
I hope that picked up.
Yeah, I hope that picked up too. But yeah, it actually looks like Billy Forrester.
Take a picture and put him in the chat so it's in the episode.
Yeah, so he's staring into your soul.
Take a picture of him lying across your dick.
Take a picture of the two of you together.
No.
I can take it.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Don't take a picture with me in it.
You look good. I need to get the light on first. Sorry. 1 second. Okay.
And people in our chat are raising their hands.
There's a dragon on your phone.
Yeah, it's Figment.
I thought it was Spyro.
A lot of people actually get them mixed up but I love both of them. They're both cool purple dragons.
There's a picture of Lane and Flabber doll.
God, meme to your heart's content.
Oh yeah.
Somebody face swap them.
Oh God, no!
Yes, do it!
No! I don't want to be
face swap.
I don't want to be Flane.
Face swap him with an actual image of Flabber from the fucking show.
Flabbercaster Flane. Oh God.
From the 7th dimension.
The thumbnail, maybe we'll see if we put my pink. Yeah, if someone edits the photo, we'll use it as the thumbnail. God,
do your worst.
God help me. Yeah, put the Toma face on it. There you go.
Oh no.
All right. So let's get into Zeo.
Rider time.
So to first start, there's an update to the Waz Wagamo count, and it's gone from a 6 to a surprising high 11.
This shit just went all the way to 11.
Yeah, he said it like 5 times in the episode. So I'm just going to state this now also. For the count, it only counts within the show itself. So not the recaps. I'm not counting the 0.5s. If he says in movies, that's cool too. But it's literally every single time in the show, Waz says
within the canon.
Within the canon says Wagamao. So he has currently said it up to 11 times. And I hope he keeps fucking saying. I hope he gets to like over 100 by the end of the show because I
love Blaze just made an NSP joke. What would my life be like if I turned that shit up to 11 out of a possible 5?
I always gotta whisper that part.
All right.
So episode 7, the wizard episode.
It was.
I didn't really care.
It was sort of confusing, but once I figured out what was happening, it was pretty fun.
Like, the guy who is another wizard, Hayase, good actor.
He was surprisingly well
very
played.
emotional and shit. So, like, it's pretty much like he doesn't want to, like, lose his, like, magic show that he has, that he does with, like, his coworkers, because it's, like, you know, means a lot to him, and they want to, like, close it down and move on to better things, but he's like, no! Like, people like doing this people like this magic show, so we should keep doing it.
What happened was, he was a stage illusionist, like a normal one, but they were losing popularity, and
he got actual magic powers.
Yeah, and then
he became Beetleborgs.
Yeah. So, let's talk first about the design of Another Rider Wizard.
No, wait, it doesn't work.
So, Another Rider Wizard are actually pretty fucking badass. They have all been great so far.
Oh, wait. Rider Custom has a Gates custom incoming.
You do that.
Let's see the shit. Ooh, Gates evil armor.
Oh, shit!
That is fucking cool, I'll admit.
That looks awesome.
That's badass!
That's cool. Now when you get your evil...
Ah!
She likes that. Well, now you have to get the evil ride watch and put it with Gates.
I was already gonna get it.
That's cool.
Evil.
Evolution.
I feel like I stole your ghost watch.
Don't worry about it. But yeah, so Another Rider Wizard takes a really unique approach to the fact that the head is based on a ring. Mm-hmm. And the design of the ring around the back of the helmet immediately reminds me of Skeith from Dot Hack.
Oh.
I like it.
Yeah, no, another wizard's design's fucking cool. It looks really neat. I like the skeleton hand on the belt and like...
What was kind of weird was when he starts doing wizard spells with it, I think it's his voice. So now there's an inconsistency because Another Forze used actual sound effects when he used switches, but Another Wizard uses the dude's voice instead of the actual connect, defend, liquid.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's a weird thing to be inconsistent about. And speaking of inconsistency, Gates, throughout the early half of the episode, fucking immediately figures out exactly what is going on. The fact that he's copied that he's another wizard, but like, he figured out another wizard purely based on the fact that he's got magic powers. But when Sogo gets all up in their face about the Fies Watch in one of the 0.5 episodes, they give him shit because, oh, don't assume it's the same just because they sound like the same word. What fucking horseshit is that?
That is a little bit weird.
And he didn't, even in the canon episode, he didn't realize it was Fies, even though they had the Fies phone. So, like, Gates is a shitty history student. And an inconsistent one.
And he knows his riders, though, because he, like, described wizard. And then we got to see, like, wizard footage. And I was like, oh, cool.
Yep. So back in 2018, we see Junichiro repairing a fucking VCR.
Yeah, because, you know, like, probably the joke, like, oh, you just set the clock on my VCR.
Well, the thing is, he talks about how people get him to repair things all the time that aren't clocks, even though it's a clock shop.
He rarely gets clocks because he can fix anything except for a shattered vase, which is what leads to the weird transition to...
Yeah, and then we see, like, Wizard Hayase fix a vase with his spells later.
Yeah, and then it's just like, and like even Soup just like freaking goes like, do you actually ever fix watches? Like clocks and stuff? And he's like once every 3 months. I'm like,
that's too few!
No, and like it's funny, he like really hates not repairing clocks.
Well, it's not his fault what idiots choose to give to him, it's just like my work.
Well, it's funny like how he always constantly says too, he's like, it's a clock shop, guys.
Right?
It's a fucking clock shop. Maybe that's how he turns into a villain.
I'm so angry I'm
I want clocks!
Other than clocks!
Anyways, fucking damaged clocks, fucking Captain Hook from Hook. You know, he has an entire fucking just room of broken clocks.
Yeah, but he wouldn't want them to be fixed.
That's true.
They're ticking!
Well, the thing is, like, I I just thought like Kamen Rider clock, like, and then I thought for a sec that's too silly, and then I realized no, it isn't.
No, Zeo is literally Kamen Rider clock.
The uncle's gonna be Homer Zeo.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking!
At this point, I wouldn't call it impossible.
Or Was. Was is gonna...
I'm still betting that the belt becomes sentient somehow because Omazeo is voiced by the voice of the Ziku driver.
You know what might happen? Like, Waz is so dependent on freaking Sogo being, like, the Demon King or whatever like that. When Sogo strays from that path, it's gonna, like, hurt Waz so much, and then he's gonna, like, go, like, turn against him because he's like, you didn't turn out how I wanted you to be. I'm like, God damn it, it's not fair.
I'm willing to bet at this point that Waz is, like, a servant of Omazeo's.
And he's just, like, watching him to make sure, like, Omazeo...
I gotta make sure my god is canon.
Omazeo sent Waz back in time to make sure that himself... goes, or maybe it's a thing where Omazeo was like, I need you to make sure that I go on the right path instead of becoming the...
maybe he's like remorseful.
Like, that he like feels like garbage, like being what he became. And so he's like sent Waz back to make sure he goes on the right path.
Well, I don't know, because Waz isn't trying to make him a good overlord, he's trying to make him Omazeo.
Yeah, because he even says when Sogo says to him, I'm gonna be a good overlord, his response is like, that's what I was afraid of.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. We see Nito Beast a little bit
Cowering behind a tree for 5 seconds.
Well, he's just hiding because, like, you know, that's how he is.
Dangling the Beast and Wizard ride watches.
I will say the Beast ride watch looks fucking cool. I don't know why. I really like that.
It's
watch.
a nice set of colors.
Yeah. We probably won't get a DX one, but I would like one.
And I'm getting Wizard. Because fucking Gates' Wizard armor is the coolest suit in this entire show so far.
It's cool. I will not deny it.
But yeah, so like Sogo and them decide to go to see this magic show because they suspect another rider's at play, which of course it is. And yeah, Waz is like, I don't want to pry into your private life, but I think you're spending a little too much time with Gates and Soup. You're supposed to be a demon lord and they don't have friends. We're like emo lone wolves. That's nice. I'm gonna be a good overlord. Okay, thanks. Bye. I gotta go watch a magic show.
And then we just see like this really cool shot of just like him, just like he's like kind of like up against the wall, and then it just shows like a pile of boxes in front of him, and then like it just the camera moves out of sight behind the boxes.
Why don't you just go back there, Waz?
Rock and roll.
But yeah, so they watch the show, it's awesome, they confront him afterwards, and of course, Gates decides to be an ass fuck and just immediately triggers him right into transforming, and they have a fight. But Zeo stops him because, he hasn't done anything bad yet. I mean, bitch, you've only known him for about half an hour, how do you know he didn't just murder 5 people 10 minutes ago? That's an awful presumptuous thing to say.
How do you know he didn't impale those flowers that he flew into the audience right now?
How do you know those flowers didn't used to be people?
Emily's like, oh no.
No, I mean, I don't think that's really a thing, but it's...
He's a wizard. He could do whatever.
I'm a wizard.
I'm a wizard.
So, for context, Emily, quickly, so
it's from one of the Rider
crossover movies. He's like Wizard's traveling around trying to like restore like his friend who like died at the end of the show or whatever like that. And so he goes and helps like a bunch of kids in like a foreign country, and they're like, are you a magician? And just in fucking English, she just goes, no, I am a wizard.
That's amazing.
It's actually a really cute line.
It's funny because the kid pronounced it really weird because they're not English, so he's like, are you a magician?
Magician? And he's like, no, I am a wizard. And he just continues to eat donuts.
Yeah.
Well, you can get donuts in pretty much any country.
So yeah. After the encounter with another wizard, Gates goes up to the roof of a building to try and find him as he's running away, and that's when we get a pretty awesome scene.
Yeah, fucking Schwartz just shows up and he's like, Gates, you have been interfering with my plans for too long, you're becoming a nuisance, and just like fucking lifts him like over the edge of the building and just like, he's like, oh, don't worry about it, like, you know, you'll be dead soon, and just like proceeds to let him go.
Response not required.
And then Waz out of fucking nowhere just like grabs him with his, I guess, like
magic scarf.
Yeah, she just straight up has a Razorhead scarf now.
And so at this point,
he is a Razorhead.
So like, So then...
My Hero Wants Justice, out next week.
So Geiz is just looking at Woz like, fuck you, I didn't need your help, and Woz is just like, oh, come on now. I'm like, can we make up?
And this is really interesting because over this episode, not in just this, but also in the recap, it's pretty... We find out that Geiz and Woz do actually know each other, and they're both from the same timeline.
Oh, yeah.
2068.
Well, because that was assumed in episode 1, because, like, Woz showed up, and then Soup looked over at him and was like, Woz, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
So,
and Woz was saying that, like, when Geiz is getting up in his face, he's like, I don't recall ever losing to you, so now it sounds like they've had a quote-unquote, friendly rivalry.
Yeah.
He
And
said,
Woz is...
like, he referred to Geiz as an old acquaintance.
what if Woz just already has his belt, he's just not using it?
I could believe that.
I could totally see that.
What if his book turns into his belt? What if he just pulls his belt out of his book? I'm ready for any of those.
You're probably not wrong either.
Right?
Oh, I don't want that to happen. That's stupid.
He just, like, turns a page. The timeline where I become a writer.
The Beyond Driver. Yeah, yoink. No. You know what? I hope he gets it from himself in, like, the future or something. I want double Woz. I just want 2 Wozes at the same time. That'd be awesome. And they both just in sync. Wagamo. And I have to count that as fucking 2. Just pull some lucky shit.
Right?
Oh, God, that was amazing.
But yeah, as Orb was saying in our chat, Woz is already able to kick Gates' ass without transforming. So when he debuts, it's gonna be fucking awesome!
Yeah, Woz is the best character in this fucking show. Like, it's only been, 7 episodes now?
Yep.
Yeah. Woz is the best character. Like, I'm sorry.
Woz is the new Alan, in all senses.
Yeah, like, he's probably, by the end, he's not gonna have any fucking development anymore, and they're just gonna cast him out, which I hope they don't, because Woz is so interesting.
I feel like he's got more to go on than Alan did, whereas once his character focus is over, he'll still be able to do things.
I don't want him to be the villain. I really don't want him to be a villain.
I mean,
I just want him to stay Zio's hype man for the rest of the series.
I feel like the way the show is going, he's going to become a villain when Sogo starts succeeding and becoming not evil. He's going to be like, I told you to be over Zio and you're not doing it, now I have to kill you!
Kamen Rider Woz 2 Electric Wazaloo. Oh, man. So, yeah. So, if you're going to watch the show, I'm watching it for Woz specifically.
Now,
like, Gates is second for me. Like, it probably goes Woz, Wool, and Gates for me. And, like, because the rest of them are okay. Like, honestly, Aura's been really boring so far. Schwartz is interesting because, like, he doesn't fuck around. He just fucks with you. Like, doesn't fuck with you or anything. He's very just like, no, you're in my way, I'm gonna kill you.
He fucks you and doesn't ask permission.
Yeah. Fucks first, asks questions later.
Without the questions.
That's
bad.
So, yeah, like, there's
the plot with Another Wizard's human identity and the whole stage was sort of
a proposal.
Was sort of confusing.
Yeah, wasn't it like he did it for a girl, but then the girl accepted another guy's proposal?
Yeah, so Hayase, who became Another Wizard, was a stage illusionist for this little rinky-dinky stage production house that they had. And it was failing because the father of the lady who became the boss died back in 2012, or rather before that, so Hayase was the only one performing left. But he decided to keep trying because he was in love with the woman, and I don't think they ever said her name.
They just keep calling her boss lady.
Yeah.
Which is weird because that's my nickname I give my actual boss at work all the time.
And then apparently the stagehand on the production team proposed to her back in 2012. Meanwhile, in 2018... it's hard to say if they're actually married or not, but she does have the ring. So in 2018, even though the marriage is happening, he's still trying to keep her happy, but he never says anything to her, even though he mumbles at one time, but she doesn't hear it, and he doesn't, because anime, it started to get confusing, because when he was talking to the stagehand later, and he was talking about marrying her, I thought that he was referring to making the proposal that she said happened back in 2012, but apparently I just misread a subtitle. So, it's not as confusing as I thought, but it's still, like, back and forth. It doesn't quite require a whiteboard at this time.
But you can make some pretty good whiteboards.
Yeah. So, yeah, Gates shows up as Another Wizard is fighting, or trying to kill the stagehand dude who proposed to the boss lady. And he's like, look, see? He is attacking people! Now I'm gonna kill him! So he goes Spy's armor. which is cool. And then he does the fucking Exceed Time Burst, and he does the Crimson Smash properly instead of with Kaisa's double-footed style. So that was good.
Yep. Just like, I'm starting to kind of see what you see in Geiz Ichi, where just like he's a fucking brat,
right?
He's just like a whiny child. Yeah, fuck you.
Well, I mean, you gotta cut him some slack, because, I mean, his fucking world and family were destroyed by this guy.
No, and when he does know his shit, like, he is smart. Like, he does figure out shit really fast, which I'll commend him for. And, like, as a rider, he knows his shit. Like, he's pretty good. It's just sometimes he gets, like, I just don't like how he, like, treats Sogo. Like, I think he's treating Sogo, like, too much crap.
He's trying not to be buddy-buddy with potentially the man who murdered his family and everyone.
Yeah, like, he sees him as a murderer still.
Yeah. I don't know. So.
Things will really start to develop with him once we find out what the actual fuck is up with Omazeo.
I am excited for his revived form, though. So
yeah.
I hope it's all black, like the scan show. So
I'm just wondering if it actually involves him dying. If it's called Revive.
Ooh, and then, like, you know, the hourglass turns over and it reverts him back.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool, actually. Have a secondary fucking rider die again. We haven't had that in a while. Not since, like, what? Gaim?
I think so.
Yeah.
Unless you count Takaru.
Well, no, it means secondary rider die.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, then Laser.
Yeah.
He's the quad rider. I mean, like, secondary
a
rider.
non-primary rider.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, then, like, Nito kind of shows up, fucks off, and we'll see him next episode, so, like, whatever. And then Aura pops in, reboots Wizard, another Wizard, and then...
Which is weird, because, like, Wool is the one who started another Wizard, so why is Aura here cleaning up after him?
I think it's just, I don't know. Like, we don't know these full villains' motives and, like, how they work yet.
I'm still willing to bet that they turn out to not be as bad as we thought, because they're trying to replace Omazeo.
Yeah, it's like
when he's in his apartment talking to her, she's like, yeah, we support your political campaign to run for the new god of time and space. God knows anything's better than Trump.
It's like the Templars in Assassin's Creed, you know. Sure, they use evil methods, but deep down, they actually are, like, really good guys. That's why I like the Templars over the Assassin Brotherhood. But anyways, so yeah, and then we see Waz in the background. He puts on his hood, and he's just like, "Oh, friends, don't soothe my Wagamao."
I'm gonna have to stab all your friends, my overlord.
Yep.
Yeah, you watch. I bet Waz is gonna start trying to kill Gates and Soup.
Oh God, especially when he becomes a rider.
Yep.
So next week we get Beast.
Yep.
That's it. So
and Gates' wizard armor.
I'm looking forward to seeing him.
Yeah, no, I know Beast is probably, if you watch Wizard, Emily, like, Beast is gonna be one of your favorite fucking things in that show.
He really likes mayo.
A lot. Like,
He's a chimera.
on everything. Yeah, and he has a chimera that if he doesn't constantly feed it, it will kill him.
And now in our chat, as per Rider Custom, is Zeo Snipe armor.
That's not bad.
I'd like to see Brave armor, though.
You should have the cape thingy, though.
Right? That'd be cool.
Alright. So 7.5, this was actually really fucking funny.
I started out this episode being angry that they were just showing us cut footage, but then it turned out to be actually fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
So Waz comes in all, Wagamo, why are you sad?
Because what's the point of cutting out filming scenes that are, like, if they're going to be cut? You shouldn't film scenes if they're going to be cut eventually.
So they show us a bunch of actual cut scenes, and sure, most of them are pretty inconsequential, but Sogo gets actually angry, like, if you're gonna cut it, don't bother filming it, God!
Yeah. And then Waz just goes on this whole sob story where we're like, yeah, well, remember when
you think you have it bad fuck face? Look what Gates had to do!
Yeah, so, like, Gates' actor, like, he filmed, like, a scene of him, like, dehensioning after, like, chasing down, like, Soup and Sogo in the Edo period. And he waited hours and hours.
2 hours to drive there. 5 hours to wait for his turn to film. 2 hours to drive home.
And the scene
for a scene that was cut.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
So I'm just like, oh, poor guy. Like, that sucks. So, yeah.
Eventually they come to the conclusion that it's the director's fault and that they should have a chat with them. So Sogo happily marches off screen to confront the directors. And then we get a scene of Waz declaring that Kamen Rider Zeo has reached a bad ending. Sogo confronted the directors, had a fight with them, and his future was cut short. Close book. Well, off to find a new Mao!
And then they show footage of him.
And then they show the footage that was cut from this episode.
Yep.
You fucks. How the fuck does the production team let this series happen?
It's crazy.
I think it's just because they have a fucking fun sense of humor. So like, no, I would just get... Because you know what? I think it's because they know with how they're doing the show that just like people are going to make fun of it, so they're making fun of themselves already. I think that's the point. So like, they're already making fun of themselves so the audience can't.
They're beating us to the punch.
Yeah, exactly. That's just why they...
Not gonna stop me from doing it anyway.
I know.
Fuckfaces.
Yeah, well, that's why I loved in just episode 2.5. They were just like, "Fuck you, Ichi."
Right?
Don't read into the show so much. Just watch it.
Doing it anyway.
I know.
Speaking of reading,
Yo, Koksu.
I will continue to admit that Keiichiro, best fucking character.
Yes. No. This was a heavy. Yes, Emily.
Charm bracelet.
Yes, charm bracelet.
What?
The
Charm necklace, not bracelet.
The calming necklace.
No, it's the charm necklace.
Oh, that's what it was called?
What, did I write that somewhere?
No, that's actually what it's called. Whenever it's written in the episode, it's written as charm necklace.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But this was a heavy Patranger episode, and it was fucking glorious.
You wanted a Patranger episode? God fucking damn did we get a Patranger episode!
It was fucking amazing and hilarious, and I love the Patos so goddamn much.
This show knows what we like.
So, like, the whole basis around this episode, like, it's primarily Sakuya focused, which is, you know what, that's cool, because, like, he's, like, the most developing character of the three. Like, Keiichiro is, too, but, like, Sakuya is, because he's, you know, he's trying to impress the senpais, and still, and trying to be, like, you know, a strong supporting asset to them. And so... You know, he finds this guy gives him a free sample of this necklace there. If you put it around your neck or whatever like that, it like stops you from being angry.
I don't know why we both keep thinking it's a bracelet when it's a necklace.
I know, I almost say bracelet.
Jewelry.
So yeah, so like they're fighting this gangler whose name is Pecker Zeppeli, which is just like I heard that name and I just fucking giggled because I'm like, oh my god, his name's Pecker.
Because he's a woodpecker, because he shoots pecking attacks.
Oh.
I have 3 notes on this episode and I don't even remember the context of them. So this is good. I have in all caps charm bracelet, which is not, it's a necklace, then long potato, and then Keiichiro Ice Bucket Challenge.
Right? I know what Long Potato was the name of the food truck in that scene where the bomb announcement was made.
And I just first say, we saw fucking Keiichiro stand. And it's fucking awesome. It's just this
rage demon.
It's just this demon fucking... Wait, why... Why is she calling me a fucking child? What do you mean by that? What'd I do? Oh, Pecker. Yeah. No, I just love hearing words like that. It's funny. So, you should see me with fart jokes, actually. Those fucking kill me. But yeah, so we're like, at one point, Saki, like, gets, like, pisses Keiichiro off, where just summons this like, fucking, like, demon Keiichiro, just, like, in, like, red flame, and just, like, with this, like, Oni demon face, and he's like, he's just about to fucking, like, consume Sakuya's soul.
I mean, I'm not a fan of JoJo, but that's a fucking stand.
That's a fucking stand.
Well, I mean, in the same episode, there's a guy named Zeppeli.
Is that a JoJo joke?
Yeah, that's a character. His name is Zeppeli, because...
Oh my fucking god.
His name's based off of Led Zeppelin. Because the creator of JoJo loves Western music.
I actually
really
like the design of this guy. He kind of reminded me of Ravemon from Digimon Savers.
Oh, okay. But yeah. So, like, Sakuya fucks up trying to, like, shoot him down because he, like, trips, because he does that, like, fucking 4 times this episode.
So, yeah,
because he got... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so Pecker's natural ability is shooting the red needles at someone makes them slip up in any context of the word, whether it be physical or mental, emotional.
Speech.
Oh, okay, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, because Sakuya slips on the pipes and then the monster slips up by saying where the bomb is.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. And then his collection piece, which turns out to be the fucking digitizer from Mega Ranger, is a piece that improves intelligence. And Kairi decides to be a shitbox by just saying that Umika could really use it. But that, you know what I love about that scene? Hey, look, remember the fact that ganglers have human disguises sometimes? Remember when that was a thing?
No.
We're bringing it back!
Yeah.
In Pog form!
Well, he's back in Pog form.
And I love that, like, when the Lupins confront him in the park, they, like, throw the calling card at him and, like, cut his face to pop his disguise like a fucking hot air balloon. I would just love it if they got it wrong and just threw that at someone who wasn't a gangler. Just, fuck, my face! Shut!
Wow.
But, like, Sakuya himself says it, but he puts on one of the necklaces and then realizes, wait, I don't get mad often. Why the fuck did I do this?
Then he goes to take it off and finds out that it can't come off.
And not one person in this fucking office of police officers thinks to try to use scissors!
Maybe it's made of, like, some gangler material and you can't just cut it with scissors.
If so, awesome. They didn't try it.
Well, fuck you. They didn't try it.
Right?
And just the whole time it's funny, just because it's just like, oh my fucking god.
It works. He's calm. What horse sorcery shit is this?
Shit.
Did you say horse sorcery?
Right?
Well, one of the best ones is just later in the episode where just like Keiichiro's like meditating, trying to keep himself calm the whole time, and so just like Saki looks over like a fucking like think it's tea.
Get him some tea.
Get him some tea, and he just trips over a computer and just. Teacups shatter onto Keiichiro's head.
You actually see the tea set shatter on his head and pour liquid hot tea all over him.
And Keiichiro's just like,
oh my god, what a fucking performance by that actor.
No, it was fucking great.
It's like boiling hot.
Yeah, he's like, hot! And then just like turns around and gives Sakuya, like, tear him a fucking new one. And he's like, and he's just like, nope.
I'm surprised that didn't trigger the
I must
thing.
calm my flame. Well, because he was about to. Yeah, so then,
Noel spends the whole episode decoding the blueprints they find at his base, and he's the one who eventually finds out that the anger from these necklaces is being channeled into a bomb.
and just like Noel wasn't doing much, but like he was just really funny with his reactions. He's like, oh la la, and he's like, oh Sakuya, you fucking idiot! Like, why'd you give those necklaces or whatever?
Yeah, it was a free sample.
It was a free sample. I mean, I'm a sucker for those sometimes too, so I'll admit.
Have you ever had a free sample of like a thing that isn't like food or?
I don't know, like laundry products and stuff.
So the Lupins run into Pecker Zeppeli and they do their usual shtick. They manage to steal the piece, but before they can finish off the monster, Patron Sango runs in and literally tanks all three of them by herself like a fucking boss and manages to get them to fuck off.
Yeah, because it's fucking Tsukasa. She's awesome.
They're just like, I don't know what the fuck going on. Don't you usually want to kill the monster bang bang all real quick and shit?
I love how skilled they are now as just a Sentai. It's fucking amazing. And it shows that like all of them by themselves can just like can do so much. And it's just this is why they're my favorite team.
Changing Rider in our chat is saying that Sakuya grabbed 3 necklaces. Where was the third one? Safe to assume he was going to give Tsukasa the third one, but
and
never did.
She was like, no.
Yeah.
Give it to Jim Carter.
Or because
Hilltop.
that was he was gonna give it to her, but then they figured out what they really were before.
Yeah.
So then we find out there's a bomb in like a tower.
Yeah. And Sango manages to use some clever fuckery to manage to get Pecker to hit himself with his own slip-up needles, and then gets him to confess that it's at that big blue tower.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Oh yeah.
So Keiichiro and Sakuya, despite their numerous debuffs, decide to go up and try and snipe the bomb.
Yep.
And the Lupins finish off the monster just in time for Sakuya to make the shot. And it's fucking awesome. It
was great.
He uses Biker, he does Geki Taiho, and just snipes the antenna right off it.
Yeah, and like, it's so good. And just like, I like the Keiichiro beforehand or whatever, just like, giving him the encouragement, like, you can do it, man.
He goes to punch him, but then just like taps him on the head. Like, come on, buck up, slugger.
Come on, buddy, you can do it. I believe in you.
You also mentioned while we were watching that the timer on the bomb was totally the Excel trial sound.
Yeah, just...
and then it stops at 99.98, and just like, oh my no setsubo no gorda.
I was surprised that they didn't actually go all the way and have it stop at 99.99.
Right? That would have been too unbelievable.
Yeah, but one millisecond earlier apparently is fine.
So, like, as the rest of the scene happens, before Ghost, like, as Ghost shows up, my thought going into that was, like, so, like, are we just gonna leave that bomb there? It's not going off, but it's still pretty charged. So, Pecker gets reused and turns giant, and then fucking Pat Kaiser shows up with the bomb in its hand.
And fucking puts it in that fucking safe.
They put the bomb in his safe!
And then they throw him into space.
And bat him into fucking space! And then Lupin Magnum Superior, which is awesome, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Just fucking snipes him from orbit!
Yep. In gun mode.
Holy shit!
Just
our first proper Megazord team-up of the Lupins and Patos, and it does not disappoint.
No. I like that even, like, the Lupins are starting to just be like, yeah, we need to help them, so, like, they defend Songo or whatever, and just like,
I don't know what's going on, but we just can we kill him now?
Yeah,
do we
like
have your permission?
It's like, we got this.
And it was cool seeing Lupin Red with Splash, Lupin Blue with Magic, and Lupin Yellow with Scissors.
Yep. She likes using scissors.
It's more like, we have better ones, so you can use this one.
Yes. Yeah, and then just, like, at the end or whatever, like that, Sakia is just like, yay! And, like, he starts, like, bragging, and, like, Keiichiro does, like, a really nice...
Sakia just goes immediately up his own ass.
But, like, before that, Keiichiro just, like, gives him, like, a nice, like, thank you, like, you...
Good thing you were here.
Yeah, it's a good thing you're here, and just, like, you know, gave Sakia the acknowledgement that he's just desperately been wanting.
Character development achieved!
He really enjoyed the compliment.
Senpai noticed me.
Yeah.
So, it was great. It just, I fucking just... I love these guys.
Next episode's
and then he fucking drops the T on Keiichiro again.
Yes, but this time he does get pissed off because he's allowed to.
Yep. Well, because that's what Keiichiro's best at.
It would have been funny if Sakia just, like, pulls out the third necklace and tries to put it on him. No, calm down! Calm the fuck down! Calm
down. So, next week...
Apparently the monster uses a beam that teleports the Rangers to their homes, so their countermeasure is to go camping so that they won't be teleported home. And thus we get what I can only refer to as Patron Ichigo Hiker.
Yay! Look at the amazing power-up you got. It's so fucking cool.
Is it really a power-up?
No, it's not.
No,
I'm just making a joke. It's the closest thing to a power-up he's fucking gonna get.
I thought it was an actual power-up and was very confused and sort of disappointed.
No, it reminds me of when fucking...
I think people are right when they say that the idea is that Lupins are based on newer Sentai that use a lot of gimmicks, and the Patos are based on older Sentai. They don't need that shit.
That might be a good point.
I like the gimmicks. They're cool.
Yes, they are. And that's why I like Lupins. Well, one of the reasons. The Patos have good old-fashioned character development.
I know. Well, that's why I'm, like, getting to the point where by the end of the show, I'll be like, you know what? The Patrangers are so fucking cool, they don't need anything.
That's what they want you to think!
Okay, well, it's starting to get there.
There you
Still
go.
Fucking hate Lupin X for stealing the power-up.
Well, he's a thief.
Because now I'm actually refusing to buy the Siren Striker until the Patos use it.
And I'm buying it because it's a blue tank.
Yeah, it's a Siren tank. Anyways, that's Beetleborgs. I love how I can time that shit.
Spawn's Big Bad Beetleborgs. Next!
So episodes 29, 30, and 31. End of the Shadowborg arc. So,
and the last time you ever see Josh forever.
Wait, yeah.
Thank fucking God.
He just disappears after this?
Yeah. You never see him again.
Like, literally, one of his last lines is like, if you guys need me, I'll be here.
And then he was not ever. No. Not even when they could have actually used him.
No poop.
Like, at the end of the season.
Did he leave?
No idea. As far as my memory goes, he's just never seen or mentioned or heard from ever fucking again.
You know what? When we were talking about this, let me look up any production notes for Beetleborgs and see if there's anything about his character.
So, episode 29 opens with Vexor and his freshly spawned graveyard of all the dead monsters of the week up until now.
Yeah, even fucking goddamn Cyber Servant.
Yep.
I fucking hate him.
And apparently Vexor's plan is first we destroy the town, then we kill the Beetleborgs, because why not? And then they all just start chanting, Victory! 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 jewelry! What are you, the fucking Besaid Aurochs? Gonna play fucking Monster Blitzball next? So yeah, the Magnivore generals, now basically bereft of purpose, mostly spend this episode trying to uncover the identity of the White Blaster Beetleborg!
Why do they keep doing... What was the emphasis on white supposed to be? Was it a reference to
This is
something?
Flabber being funny.
being a fuckface.
Yeah, so now here's where we
I'm
actually...
guessing it was a reference, right? 'Cause
So, one of the episodes...
he called Steven Spielberg.
And told him that Jurassic Parks would never sell.
Yeah.
So, freaking...
Dinosaurs running amok in a theme park, who would believe it?
So one of the episodes, whatever, like that... Fangula, or like they're trying out for the
the context is, in the first episode, Josh decides that all this superhero nonsense isn't for him, and he surrenders his Beetle Bonder.
Fucking asshole.
So Flabber decides to hold auditions for a replacement White Blaster Beetleborg!
Because Josh got mad at him because he put him in detention.
Rightly so.
Skip over Flabber being an Eldritch abomination in class and turning into his eraser and reflections and
a speedometer.
Like Cell was watching.
People talk to their speedometers.
Well, Cell was watching with me, and he was just like, oh god, this show's
making it
fucking
think he
weird.
called the teacher Flabby.
Yep.
Flabby.
So yeah, Flabber does his usual hijinks trying to talk to the kids, and Josh, not being used to it, ends up getting in trouble and gets angry at Flabber, so he just decides, fuck you, I quit.
Hold Flabber, Emily.
Okay.
Yeah, you should hold Flabber while we talk about him.
Guard him, keep him safe.
Keep it safe. Keep it safe.
Keep it safe. So Fangula is the first one, and like what Ichi's about to quote.
This might be my favorite scene in the entire fucking show.
So like, I remember like Ichi said it this way before, and then this happened, and I was like, oh, that's why Ichi says that way. So,
look out! I'm the White Fangula Borg! 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 Borg!
Yeah.
I mean, blast! 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 Beetleborg! Beetleborg!
Yeah.
Beetleborg!
like literally.
That's so. It was the silliest
On point.
thing. I love
And
it.
I'm just sitting there like, oh,
I fucking love it.
Fuck you, I quit. Flabber's head turns into a staple removal. You can't quit, we need you.
Oh, it's the Grumps joke. You can't quit, we need you. And the boss is like... that would be fucking amazing.
God. And then Art Fortunes comes back, which...
Yeah, he just, Art Fortunes didn't come back. Art Fortunes never left.
No, but honestly, I think he's my favorite character in this show.
He's pretty good.
I love he's funny, and he's super, and like, I love that eventually he's just all for this shit that's happening. He's like, no, I'm gonna help you guys. Like, my creations have come to life, and like... You
know why he's down for all this?
Right.
Because when he walked out that door at the end of these episodes, he had enough new material to write the next year of comics.
Yep.
So he was getting free storyboarding tips.
Yeah, really.
He always looks like Steve Martin to me.
He looks like Gary Busey crossed with Egon from Real Ghostbusters.
My favorite part about that scene where he walks out, he's like, I've got new comics to draw, including the Mega Blue Beetleborg and the Thunder Stinger. And Josh is like, and the White Blaster Beetleborg? No! We never see him in the comics from that point.
No.
So no! It did not in fact get used.
Whatever. The White Blaster Beetleborg wasn't all that great.
Because we don't have any stock footage left.
Yay.
Apparently the White Borg and Juko B-Fighter was like a medic. Like something like Deca Swan.
Yeah. Ooh.
Every time we watched it, Gar kept complaining about how he hates how different the white suit looks than the others. And I get it, but this was still pretty amazing when we were kids.
It's alright.
Is the Shadowborg alive?
Oh, Shadowborg? No, he's a robot.
He was a robot created from a piece of Blue's armor.
I mean, I knew he was created from the armor, but I saw that, but I wasn't sure if he was, like, a spirit inhabiting it, or...
I'm pretty sure his evil soul was just spawned by Vexor's energy axis, which I swear to God looks like something they'd run over your fucking ass at the airport to see if you had any precious metals on you.
Oh man.
This package makes for convenient Flabber share.
Yep. I love in the first episode the Jara, Noxic, and Typhus in their efforts to uncover the identity of the White Blaster Beetleborg and re-endear themselves to Master Vexa.
Even though Vexa doesn't give a shit about them at all.
They just stumble back to Zoom Comics, and Flabber teleports Josh in right away to help them, so they figure out immediately that Josh is the White Borg. And then they're like, "Ha-ha! We have discovered your identity! Now you'll never be able to stop Vexer's secret horde of comic book monsters that you don't know about! Fuck!"
Wait a minute, there's a theme this week of people accidentally revealing plans to...
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. The week of, crap.
Ah, shit.
Fuck, I told!
Ah, shit.
Alright, so, because the Borgs are having such a problem with Shadow Borg, even with the White Borg at their side, they decide to drop a new weapon, and it's the Thunder Stinger.
And it's broken as shit.
It is badass. It is broken. It is amazing.
Yeah, like, it fucking just, like, anything that it hits, it just turns back into a comic.
And I love that Art specifically says, only the blue Beetleborg can use it.
Yeah, like...
Meanwhile, just Joe and Roland in the background, fuck you!
And then he was like, yeah, I'm fine with that.
I think the blue Beetleborgs is favorite.
Yeah.
Well, this is like the only show
the
where the blue
leader.
one is the main one.
Right?
Probably. The red one is the girl.
Probably he's the only one in the stock footage that uses it.
Well, yeah. That's for the same
blue
reason.
Beetleborgs matching thong. No,
only the blue
G-string.
Beetleborg can use it.
G-string.
If you want context on that, listen to the last episode of Extra Extra. So yeah, the army of monsters starts marching towards Charterville, but the Borgs use their Beetle battle vehicles to scout them out, and Drew starts picking them off with the fucking Thunder Stinger like they ain't no shit.
Yup.
So as they're fighting, they eventually fight the Shadow Borg again, and before we get to actually see it happen, we cut to a B-roll of, ironically enough, a TV reporter talking about the fight between the Beetleborgs and the Shadow Borg, and they tell us that the Thunder Stinger is not effective against Shadow Borg, which turns out to be because he's not from the comics.
Oh.
But I can't believe that this show fucking had the audacity to have someone of inconsequential importance tell us this fact before actually showing us this fact.
It's supposed to be showed on.
It's weirdly padding. And it would have been perfectly fine if they'd shown us that scene first and then had the reporter say, "Oh my god, we're fucked! Shit!"
But honestly, one of my favorite parts of these 3 episodes is like when the truck finally arrives at Zoom Comics to get their comic books.
Oh yeah.
And so like apparently the dad's like overdue on bills for like receiving the comics. So like they fuck with the delivery guy.
Drew makes his invoice float around, and the guy just doesn't question it, doesn't think anything of the fact that the paper is flying out of his hands.
And so Roland just like speeds and starts putting all the comics up on the shelf or whatever, just like pretending like, oh no, yeah, we already put them up.
Alright, cool, we'll pay you at the first of the month. No, you owe us like 2 back payments, so we need cash now or you don't get these comics. Oh no, you've already stocked them. I guess I'll just leave.
All right.
Good job defrauding one of your fucking supply vendors, you derelict business.
Send us a check anytime.
I get you got ripped off by the Magnivores, but that is not okay.
Yeah, but
I didn't pick up on this as a kid, but now that I run a business, it is not okay.
Really? That's like freaking our like a lot of customers at my work. They just like try to ask for like free food, saying like, "Oh yeah, we promised we'd get an order for next time," and so now I just have to be like, "Do you have a receipt? Do you have your original receipt? Do you have the name of the manager you spoke to about this?" And then they don't, and I go, "No free food for you."
Fucking the people we work for are pretty derelict with their payments as well. I won't go into specifics, but this one kind of hit home.
Yep. So then we get to episode 30 and Wolfie has fleas.
Hooray! And they try and drop him into a very toxic flea bath.
It's not just Wolfie that has fleas, it's everybody.
Well, I mean, he has them and then everyone is affected by them.
Yeah.
So, the first half of episode 30 has the Beetleborgs doing something that very rarely happens in all of Toku. They actually search for the enemy's home base!
Yeah, really.
And how do they find them out? By having Joe skywrite Magnivores are weenies to piss them off, and Typhus starts having a fucking tantrum and causing explosions after being dissed out by Shadowborg, and it works!
It's one of the most 90s ways to find evil villain base.
The Magnivores are weenies.
Wow.
Shut up!
So the focus of this episode after that is the energy axis that Vexor has been using to power up Shadowborg. But the idea is that they're invading the graveyard base in order to steal it so that they can power themselves up with it. There is a danger that if they use it, it could turn them evil because it is powered by evil energy.
Yeah.
But, of course, it turns out that using it has no bad effects.
Nope.
I love that they were like, alright, so get it, but don't use it because we gotta test it first. What the fuck were they gonna test it on? The monsters?
Yeah. Oh, so Josh has invisibility.
Yeah, with zero context as they're invading the tomb, he just like dusts his hands and activates his suddenly a thing invisibility civilian power.
Which then later on he uses to fucking cheat in arm wrestling to like throw Joe off.
Fuck you, Josh. What an asshole.
Yep. I fucking hate him. And then we get another scene of fucking Josh and Heather together, in which I immediately just yelled out, "Just fuck already!"
Or don't. They're just kids.
I know.
Wait till you're 18?
No, and then we get the hilarious thing where, like, Heather's in the hospital, like, waiting to get her cast off, and just, like, Van and Trip are there, and, like...
pretending to be doctors, and then riding around in fucking wheelchairs like a couple of entitled ass fucks!
And then Josh and fucking Drew show up at the same time with the same flower, like, singular flower, and they just look, and they're like, "Fuck you, what are you doing here?" And had stuff.
You said you had detention.
Yeah, you said you had homework to do. Yeah. And so they go and they like see that like Heather's just hanging out with Van and Trip, and they're like, "Oh, well, fucking bitch," and walk away. But yeah, during like the basement ever, like fucking Vector or whatever. Vexor, sorry, whatever.
Vector.
Whatever.
You know Vector?
He's stupid.
The cereal?
No,
Sure.
not the cereal!
Whatever.
The one from Despicable Me.
So Vexor, he's like, "Oh, my energy extractor!"
Is he Skeletor now?
Sure. What the? Oh God. So I actually watched the first episode of He-Man: The Masters of the Universe, and I actually didn't think Skeletor sounded like that.
That's how he sounds!
Yep.
No, I thought people were just exaggerating how he sounded. Like that was just like a parody voice. No, he actually sounds like this He-Man. I can't. Mola, Italian dentist.
Oh, great! It's Mola.
Nice.
God, just I stopped watching after like 10 minutes in. No, it was so bad. It's so bad.
I don't think you're supposed to take him seriously.
Secrets were revealed to me when I held up my trusty sword and said the words, "By the power of Grayskull, I have the power." I'm like, so you just randomly said them.
Why did you say them then?
That's actually, maybe he just felt in his heart he was supposed to say them.
And that's from the era of TV where that's probably the best.
These ancient
explanation
glyphs
to get.
say I'm gonna have to lift up my sword, and then I say, "By the power of Grayskull, I have the power," and then he just transforms He-Man. Which, like, anyways, don't watch He-Man. It's bad.
Talk about the name He-Man, are we?
So anyway, they steal the energy axis, and as they run outside, Vexor has "Detestro the K Floria!" chase after them. And that's when we get to see the White Borg's henshin sequence for the first time.
Which is like, when they're not doing like the cool fucking transformation sequence, it's really creepy. Because like,
it's some Animorph shit.
Yeah, they like morph into the armor and like you see their faces stretch out. I'm like, ugh!
Weirdly cascaded dissolve effect.
It does look like Animorphs.
Yeah,
Mention it.
so I prefer their like,
which
their
is
footage
appropriate
when they're
because they're
together.
Beatles.
Yeah.
Instead of making it look like they actually like
metamorphose
suits, it makes it look like their actual skin turns into the armor.
Right? But when they do the 3-man comic style henshin, you actually see the armor like...
Yeah, that makes more sense.
So it's...
I'm sad they didn't make up a new henshin for Josh.
No,
you know what I mean?
they knew they were going to use them ever again.
Even in the next episode, when we get the only 4-man henshin in the entire franchise, It's still just the the four of their individual ones.
So then, fucking Blue Beetleborg destroys Detestro, like, fucking no problem.
No, he uses the Axis on himself because there's no time, we gotta use it! And he gets his super form, Mega Blue Beetleborg.
And it's cool. It's Hyper Kabuto before Hyper Kabuto.
Right? Paul and I were watching and we were just like, wow, Hyper Kabuto, get fucked.
You alright, Ellie?
He's got jet feet like Ida from Academia. He's got the giant beetle wings that fold out, and he even fires them.
Blaze has a good point. What if when they turn to the Beetleborgs underneath the armor, it's just giant effing beetles?
Hang on to that. When we talk about metallics, you're gonna want to remember that.
Oh my fucking god!
Wait, what?
You'll see.
Did you see that one masked?
No.
Oh.
But there's a thing. Something to that effect.
Oh no. Okay. The Mega Blue Beetleborg or whatever is fucking cool looking.
He's busted. He's got
the fuck
away.
Ida's fucking engine legs.
I said that.
Yeah. And just, oh man.
And he fires maximum hypercyclones all day.
Hey, fucking maximum hypercyclone's amazing. And then they have a mega celebration, and like Wolfie gets his please cured.
Before that, I love how like after he transforms, he's just holding the gun pointed at the axis dropped on the ground. How do I fire this? Even though he's been using it all episode, and then just inadvertently, accidentally blows up the energy axis. Welp.
Fuck.
So much for Shadowborg needing that to survive, because at the end of the first episode, he calls Shadowborg away so he can recharge, except then he can't recharge when Josh steals it, and Vexor clearly says, "Oh, you're useless without your final dosage of evil energy!" But then Shadowborg just walks out anyway.
Yep. He wills it, because fuck you. So then, Wolfie, like, gets his fleas cured, and then, like, he
walks out in a fucking suit and top hat.
Yeah, he, like snaps...
pops out his top hat.
The top hat. It's fucking adorable.
Pops the top.
So then, like, the door opens and there's wind, and they go outside, like, what the fuck? And it's Shadowborg, and he's like, fight me, fuckers!
No.
Fight me, one-on-one!
That is not what he said.
So then...
Fox only, final destination, no items.
So then, episode 31, we get one of the greatest things ever, where Vexor shows up in the fucking mansion.
This is unprecedented, people!
And so...
The villain is in the main guy's base! I mean, we were in your base last episode.
So he wants to challenge the Beetleborgs against the Shadowborg, but he's so specific, he's like, I want you to be at this location at 3 o'clock after school.
After school!
I don't need you fuckers cutting now or anything, do anything delinquent or juvenile.
Yeah, the villains are being from a kid's comic, assumedly.
It's oddly considerate of a villain bent on conquering the world.
Specifically after school. Like, you shouldn't care about it.
Make sure you do all your homework!
Don't skip class, kids.
Homework!
Yeah,
the most evil thing of all!
So he fucks off, and then they're like, okay, so...
But not after, before he leaves, like, the monsters try and fight him, but he just, like, zaps them all. And Flabber tries to pull a Rocky with the raging Flab. Tries to punch Vexor, but he's got a barrier.
It's like one of the worst names for a boxer ever. Like,
right?
You might as well be like ultimate.
Last night I gave this girl my raging Flab.
No!
Whoa.
No, you just made me think something absolutely horrible that I don't think.
I'm so sorry.
I don't think I should ever.
I don't think that.
The raging Flab.
No, not that. It was
no. So then we get like this awesome scene where they're just like they're all in school and class and they're just like waiting for like looking at the clock as it's going by. It's like just like fucking Drew looks up. Shit, I have 6 hours left before I fight Shadowborg.
And you see Joe look up at the clock where it's noon, and she's actually just like dreading the fight, but just like, oh no, it's lunchtime.
And then Roland's
today's broccoli day.
And Roland's just like, fuck, like an hour before fucking Shadowborg.
And then we get this cool shot as they're in the hallway, and you see like the frame of the clock, but reversed as if the camera's inside it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love when fucking they do shots like that. It's so cool.
That was a cool shot.
So then they go to fight Vexor and the Shadowborg.
Oh, and Art decides to bring up a very weird and contrived fact about the White Blaster Beetleborg. Because The White Blaster Beetleborg was created for the explicit purpose of defeating the Shadow Borg. Apparently, when the Shadow Borg is defeated, the White Blaster Beetleborg powers go...
It's yin and fucking yang.
Despite the fact the Shadow Borg existed before or without him.
Why?
And what's even funnier is the Blue Beetleborg's the one who defeats the Shadow Borg.
I realize it's because you don't have any more stock footage of either of them, but that is the most contrived fucking bullshit excuse to have to erase the White Beetleborg powers.
Yeah, but we're children. We don't fucking know any better.
You know what they could have done?
Hmm?
After the town gets attacked by the monsters, Josh's family decides, well, we just moved here, we're not that settled in.
Yeah,
now that we're in a town that we know is constantly under attack, fuck it, let's move somewhere else.
No, like do it like arachnophobia, have them move back to where they were.
Right? But no, his powers get erased.
Yeah, and
Blue uses his mega form and Thunder Stinger, and even though it didn't work last time, for some reason it works this time.
Yeah, and then, like, Shadow Borg freezes him, and, like, the whole time he's fighting, he's just like, Shadow Energy! Shadow Energy! And I'm
yes! So Shadow Borg is like, time for me to use Vexor's most powerful weapon, the Deep Freeze! He blasts him with his laser, and then it goes into Blue's mega transformation sequence, which we saw already last episode, but now we're supposed to believe that the smoke from the stock footage transformation is Shadow Borg's Deep Freeze attack.
Yep.
Which it clearly is not, because not only did he use it beforehand, but every episode following this, he uses the same transformation footage that has the smoke in it. So I don't know how they expected anyone to buy this Deep Freeze bullshit.
I mean, I believed it. But I was very distracted as a kid, so I just, like, took in everything. I was like, that's so cool! Like, I didn't hate anything ever.
And one more thing about Mega Blue Beetleborg's transformation.
Oh, I'm not done!
Clearly, when he does the transformation sequence, the Thunder Stinger is, like, folded up, because you can clearly see it's a two-part weapon that, like, chucks downward.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time in the sequence, the weapon is, like, folded up. But as the sequence ends and he's holding the gun in his hand, it's already folded out and it's got their little blade sidearm chucked on top of it.
Yep.
And they never address that. And they never show him actually folding the weapon out.
Nope.
Well, that's because stock footage, isn't it?
I know, but they could have, like... You know what I mean?
No. They couldn't have.
But no, I guess we can't afford a prop with fucking hinges.
And then Vexor, like, shows up in the sky or whatever like that. He's like, nah, you'll fight me! And then he goes really big. And
I thought if we defeated Shadow Borg, you'd go back to the comics. I fucking lied!
Yeah, because why the fuck would they want to go back?
So yeah, Vexor flies around like it's fucking and like they fire at each other after a while, and then they decide to kill Vexor by giving him a real big hug. Group hug, and then they just fall over and fucking explode. But haha, Vexor has fucking auto life in effect apparently and comes back.
Yup.
And might I say, in a very actually fucking scary giant head form.
Yeah, no, that was pretty cool. He was like, you don't know the extent of my powers, Beetleborgs.
And then he just fades away, and we never see that big head super form again.
No.
What is it with these shows and giant heads?
I don't know.
Incoming message from the big giant head.
Not that big giant head.
The one played by William Shatner.
So then... That's it, really.
Pretty
so then
much.
Josh doesn't get his powers anymore, and then
Josh leaves, Art leaves, but not before giving the monsters fan art caricatures of themselves.
That was fucking adorable.
Right?
I figured we'd stick with
That's awesome.
Pretty. Fellas, is my nose really that big? And Frankie's just like, yeah. He just stomps off.
Like Flabber was fucking great throughout all three of these episodes. He's a fuking great character.
You see? I knew you'd like him.
No. I've never hated Flabber. I've always loved Flabber. It's just like I can see now like why like this show's cute. Like it's gone from being like cringy to fucking cute.
Yay!
So, yeah. But no, I liked Flabber, like, dressed up as, like, a fucking, like, army sergeant and shit like that.
General Hubbub.
And then, like, there was another one where, like, this was from the last 3 episodes we watched, but, like, they were like, oh, we need an escape or something like that, or, like, a escape plan, a rescue plan or something, and he, like, dresses up as a firefighter and actually, like, brings down, like, a ladder and, like, climbs down it, and it's fucking amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. So, like, yeah, Billy Forster, like, great fucking job.
Mm-hmm. We have purchased your likeness to keep forever as a mascot.
You heard it here, folks. Lane likes Beetleborgs. He said, "Yeah."
Emily, what do you think
about Beetleborgs in general?
So far, yeah.
Honestly, it's really just pure fun. It's cheesy. It's silly. It's actually made me literally laugh out loud before, which is a little embarrassing. I really like just the characters, the concept. It's incredibly 90s.
It is 90s as fuck.
Yeah, it's maybe actually the most 90s show I can think of.
Yeah. Pretty
like,
up there.
I'm trying to think of something, maybe Saved by the Bell. But this also has like toku imports in it and a weird mascot who says catchphrases and stuff like that Saved by the Bell doesn't.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, and then just Josh's like, oh, if you guys ever need me, I'll be here.
Except no, he was not ever again.
Good. Thank fucking God. I hated Josh. I hated him.
He was kind of a fuck stick.
Yeah, and like getting powers and then just all of a sudden like not wanting to be like the hero and like letting your friends down, like that's not cool. Like I would do my absolute best, and if I got hurt or injured or something because of trying to be a hero, then I would probably stop. But I wouldn't just stop because I don't feel like I don't want to.
Well, it was just because he was pissed off at Flabber.
Yeah.
But now that I'm thinking about it, Shadowborg stole their powers the first time. They never really addressed why or if he could not do that again. It just never comes up again.
What the fuck ever.
Now we have to create a 5th Borg.
So that's it really.
Alright.
So what's next week for Borgtober?
So, finishing off Borgtober, next week we will be watching episodes 39, as well as the final 2 episodes, 52 and 53, of Big Bad Beetleborgs. Why episode 39? You'll have to look it up to find out.
Mm-hmm.
Or just tune in next week.
Yeah.
Because Jikai, Radio Sentai Castranger. So, as always, thank you all for listening, watching, liking, favoriting, sharing, subscribing. # comments for Lane.
That's right, I'm hungry.
Tell us what you thought. Tell us what you thought of Beetleborgs. Tell us if you grew up with it, what you think of it then, what you think of it now. Who's your favorite Borg? And why is it Flabber? No, why is it the white Fangula Borg?
I like how he...
Oh yeah, and he fucking Fangula comes out dressing like fucking like...
He appeared to have like pieces of...
water jugs on him.
Yeah, it's the white Fangula Borg!
And like pieces of like the foam they used to pack Dell computers in.
When he was auditioning, he like held up a banana, he's like, this is my bonder.
I brought my own bonder. That line kills me.
Fucking Fangula. White Borgula, there you go.
Yeah.
That would have been better.
So, as usual, the primary source of our hijinks is castranger.podbean.com. Check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/rscastranger. Tweet us at Ixie Studios.
Lomits for Kane.
Join our Discord server where you can not only chat with other fans and us, but also listen in live as we record Castranger, mostly Friday nights around 9, maybe 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out our merch store at TeePublic, where you can buy shirts and onesies and books and stickers of our emblems and logo.
Oh my god!
And as always, thank you for listening again. We love you all, and we will see you next week!
Good night!
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Have a flabberistic day.